Hello again. So this video I wanted to record and to talk about something that comes up a lot in myself, but in the clients that I see and in people that I know. And that is the difference between addiction and calling, because there's often confusion when people are beginning to heal in understanding the difference between the two. So let me first talk about each one of those. So addiction that we have to a person, to a behavior, to a substance, it can be food, it can be drugs, it can be alcohol, it can be something as innocuous as reading, or a relationship. Comes from a place of lack. It comes from a place of wounding. It comes from the ego or unhealed energy within our consciousness. It is something that we use to escape or avoid facing our pain or our trauma or our conditioning, some sort of lack within ourselves. And it serves its purpose because on some level we feel we can't face what's happening within us. And so we need that thing, or we believe we need that thing to kind of ease the pressure of having to face it, or numbing it out, or softening it. So that's addiction. So there's a codependency on the addiction. I need this thing not to feel this other emotion or feeling within myself. So that's something that is a coping mechanism. It's not the healthiest thing for us, but sometimes, in the human condition, we all need levels of that. Even to certain thoughts or thinking processes, sometimes we just are addicted to that. Now, calling is something else altogether. So once we heal addictions, once we drop the coping strategy and we begin to face what we've been avoiding or escaping, we are able to open up. We're able to where the addiction or where the pain used to be, and now it's gone. There's an openness there, more openness to life. And that space can then be called to certain things in life. So our hearts can be called towards certain people, towards certain vocations, towards certain jobs, towards certain behaviors or activities. And that feeling is very different to what happens when we have addiction and we feel like we're drawn towards the substance or the person. But it's not any less persistent quite often. So our heart may be drawn towards going, I don't know, let's say to a different city. And that's not coming from a place of addiction. Whereas if it was coming from a place of addiction, we would feel like if I don't go there, things are going to be bad. It's not going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. So I need to keep moving or to keep changing partners or jobs or let's say that's one form of addiction. At the same time, a calling is very different. We can keep feeling this in the openness of our hearts, that this is where I want to go. This is where I need to go. There's something there for me, for my soul, not for my emotions, but for my soul. And so quite often people will come to me and they'll be unsure of which path to take. And this is where I have to do the work with them, like clearing out anything that can be part of the addiction. And then when we finish that process, when there's no more need for an addiction, we can see if there's still a calling from that thing that they've been focused on. Quite often, that thing drops away. Maybe something else is calling them now. Sometimes it persists. And that's where the intuitive guidance is actually drawing us towards this thing that's calling us. So there's a lot of clarity that comes when we do the work, the inner work, in terms of what we want to do when we're at the crossroads, because the heart's always telling us what's calling us. So that's the difference between the two. And that's part of the work that I do. I help people get really crystal clear around if it is an addiction that's calling them, or connecting them to their hearts so that they know which path to take, which person to choose, which course of action to take. So if you've resonated with this video, there's links below for my Facebook page. There's contact details there also. If you feel drawn towards working with me, please get in touch. Thank you and see you next time.